You know that feeling, right? That sinking feeling when you look at your phone and the battery is just plummeting for no reason at all. It's one of the most frustrating things about modern life, but today we're going to figure out exactly why it happens.
So what is really going on here? I mean, you've closed all your apps, you've turned the brightness down, but that little percentage number just keeps ticking down. Well, we're about to go way past the usual advice and uncover the real reasons your battery just can't seem to hang on.
You know the routine. You unplug your phone, it's at a perfect 100%. You feel like you're ready to take on the day.
And then, bam, before you'd even had lunch, you get that dreaded low battery notification. How is that even possible? It's maddening.
Well, today we are pulling back the curtain. We're going to expose the hidden culprits and the bad habits that are secretly murdering your battery. And trust me, I think you're going to be pretty surprised by what we find.
Okay, first up, let's talk about what your phone is up to when you're not even looking at it, because this is where the first major battery drain happens, completely in secret.
I want you to think of your phone like a house. When you swipe an app away, you think you've turned it off, right? But a lot of the time, it's just lurking in the background, kind of like a light you left on in an empty room, just silently sucking up power.
And who are the biggest offenders here? Yep, the apps we use all the time. Your social media, your maps, your email. They're constantly running these hidden processes, checking for new messages, tracking your location, refreshing your feed, even when you're not looking at them. And this is not a small thing. These background processes alone can eat up 20 to 30% of your total battery. I mean, that's a huge chunk of your power just vanishing into thin air before you've even really started your day. But as bad as those sneaky apps are, get this, the biggest villain of them all is the very thing you're staring at all day long, your screen. It can be responsible for up to half of your entire battery usage. Crazy, right?
So why is the screen such a monster power hog? Well, high brightness is a pretty obvious killer, but the real hidden cost? It's that super high refresh rate. To get that silky smooth scrolling, your phone's processor has to work like crazy, redrawing the entire screen up to 120 times every single second. That buttery feel you love is powered directly by your battery life, and man, it is a massive drain.
But it's not just your phone doing stuff in secret. It's also about our habits. Let's take a look at some really common things we all do that are actively wrecking our battery's long-term health. See if any of these sound familiar.
So here it is, the perfect recipe for total battery failure. Number 1, charging overnight. This keeps the battery pinned at 100%, causing constant chemical stress. 2, using those cheap, uncertified fast chargers. They can deliver really unstable power that damages the battery cells. And 3, gaming or streaming while charging. That generates a massive amount of heat, which is without a doubt the ultimate battery killer.
In fact, that brings us to the single worst thing you can possibly do to your battery: heat. We're calling it battery suicide because that's literally what it is. Heat causes the chemicals inside to break down, permanently destroying its ability to hold a charge. Gaming while plugged in or, leaving it on your dashboard in a hot car, that's the fastest way to kill it for good.
And that battery health number buried in your settings, it's not just a gimmick. It has real, tangible effects. At 95%, you might not even notice a difference. But once it dips to around 85%, you really start to feel it. The phone just dies so much faster. And below 80%, the performance takes a huge hit, and no software trick in the world can fix that permanent damage.
Okay, so that was all the bad news. The good news is you can absolutely take back control. It's not about some magic trick. It's just about building better habits. So let's dive into the actual steps you can take, like right now.
All right, let's build your new toolkit. A few key habits here are going to make all the difference. The biggest one is the 20 to 80% rule. Here's why it works. These batteries get most stressed out when they're totally full or totally empty. So keeping them in that happy middle range can seriously extend their lifespan. SIM goes for turning off that 120 Hz refresh rate when you don't need it, disabling background refresh for those hungry apps, and most importantly, just do whatever you can to keep your phone cool.
This slide really just puts it all together. It's a simple switch in mindset. Instead of charging all night long, just give it a little top-up when it hits 20%. Instead of maxing out your screen settings all the time, just let auto brightness do its thing. It's really about being mindful, not paranoid.
So, at the end of the day, your phone's terrible battery life isn't some deep, unsolvable mystery. It's just the sum of dozens of little habits and settings that add up over time. And the best part is, now you know exactly what to look for.
So there you have it. You now have the power to actually improve your battery's lifespan in a meaningful way. The only question left is, what's the first habit you're going to change?